back to Bright Leaf Tarot. Today, as you can see, we're going to be doing a unboxing and walkthrough first impressions of the Small Spells Tarot by Rachel Howe. So this is how it came to me in the mail. I ordered the guidebook along with the full color version of Small Spells. It also comes in black and white. I just thought that I tend to like colorful decks, so I thought that may be a better option for me. It came along with this little business card. And there's this, sort of illustrated ribbon, paper ribbon. I'm going to go ahead and cut this open, potentially. All right, so it's kind of a glossy cover. I like this sort of sketchy illustration style. I think that's really interesting. It reminds me a lot of the Apparition Tarot and all the other decks that that artist does. It's sort of like a more intuitive version of the cards. Looks like it was made in 2016. Tarot as healing. A little bit about the minors and majors. That's nice. A full card for each, or sorry, a full page for each card. Curious to see how her writings go along with these cards. All right, so let's get into this box. Nothing fancy, it's just a simple tuck box. And I've showed this before, but the way I like to open a box that I'm having trouble getting is I just put the dull side of the blade in here and then just kind of pop it open. And that way you don't damage these corners here. Although it looks like there was already some little damage there. That's fine. That could have been for me. These deck backs are really interesting. It reminds me of like an Argyle sweater. Let's see. Not bad. Yeah, this is like a thin, flexible card. I think it'll be easy to shuffle. I'm going to grab a Rider-Waite deck to compare the size to. So here's my borderless Rider-Waite Smith deck. And these are a tiny bit more narrow and just the smallest bit taller. I mean, just by like a sliver. So they're pretty close. So I think that means these will be easy to shuffle. All right, and I think these are in order right out of the box. So we're just gonna go ahead and start with these. I do see a little damage here. That kind of drives me crazy. I might reach out. Yeah, it's already peeling. So I might reach out to the artist for that. And let's begin. Okay, so I'm going to go through, I found some cards on here that were really interesting to me. So I'm going to go through and pull my favorite cards, and then we'll just take a look at those and go from there. Okay, so here's just a couple of cards that I found. I mean, really, there's so many cards in this deck that I really find interesting and want to talk about, but I narrowed it down to these. So the Three of Swords, you know, that's a complicated card. And most decks just picture a heart with three swords stuck through it. And I really like this rendition. I think it's a lot more nuanced. It's not as aggressive. And I could see how this depiction, I'd be able to read multiple things into this with my intuition. So I really like that. I think that's a cool card. You know, this deck has a lot of hands in it. And, you know, I think that's really cool. But I guess if you don't like illustrated hands, you probably won't enjoy that. The High Priestess is a card that I really tend to love. And I think this is a really cool depiction. I love this sort of Egyptian goddess. I love this, you know, spider symbology. And these chains that are sort of turn into lemniscates. Very cool. I find the Emperor is also a card people sometimes struggle with. And I think this really depicts that sort of like structure, stability, creating like a template for how to move forward. Someone who really wants to create plans, maybe be in control a little, but you can get that from this without feeling, you know, sometimes I feel like the Emperor is like hashtag daddy issues, but I feel like this kind of sidesteps that. I just think this is so cute. I love this cat. And these little pieces of chain that are broken, and these little flowers. It's like tender, but also, you know, so, sort of has that juxtaposition between hard and soft, which I think makes a great strength card. Seven of Cups. And I pulled this just because I wanted to show that even though a lot of these images are really pulled from the artist's intuition and pulled from her just sort of like vibe, the Seven of Cups really follows. You can see this like RWS inspiration behind it. So, you know, don't be afraid of a deck like this. These sort of loose interpretations through the illustration, I think, can really help you if you are interested in like practicing more with your intuition or exploring, you know, different meanings for the cards. But there's still cards like this that kind of anchor you into like a certain system. And this I just thought was, I am like not a sports person, but this was so funny to me. Looks like there's just a little mark on there. I just love this like slow motion dunk. I think that's really cute. And then the last one I pulled is this Four of Swords. I love this like acupuncture, like getting rest through self-care, getting rest through focusing on your health. And I'm not sure, but I think this may have to do with Chinese medicine as well. But I just love that. I think that's so sweet. Okay, so shuffling. The cards feel nice in the hand. They're not super glossy. They don't stick together. Ooh. let's see how they riffle shuffle. Perfect. Perfect. That is such a great cardstock. Okay, so let's grab this book again. Knight of Swords, and I think Swords was the first suit. Right past it. Okay. Taking action with a clear mind, being supported by facts and logic, allowing your thoughts to lead the way, rushing ahead, getting ahead of yourself, jumping to conclusions. In order to take right action, balance is needed between your idea of things and the reality of things. When this occurs, it's like a puzzle piece fitting into place. If not, it's more like a dagger forced into place. So that's interesting. It's like within the description, she's explaining why she chose these images. And then another card that fell out was the Page of Cups, which is really interesting because this is a card that I tend to be drawn to a lot. So let's find it. Okay, Page of Cups. News of new love, a new child, a birth. A new attitude towards emotions and relationships, as happens when a woman becomes a mother. A positive message. A new friend that helps you out. Finding allies, finding enjoyment, a playful attitude, the excitement of a surprise. So all in all, I think this is a really interesting deck, and I'm excited to work with it. I think it's a great size, very easy to shuffle. I do like an intuitive kind of deck, and I'm interested to see. I mostly bought this to see if this would maybe supplement my Apparition Tarot, which I really love, but I just find it so hard for me to shuffle. It just it's a little too big, it's a little too stiff, and those gilded edges are really sharp. So this, as you can see, doesn't have any edging. If you're someone that likes to edge your decks, you could do that. I might not. I don't really, like, that's not something that I really put too much energy into. I'm more interested in what's happening within the reading and the cards. But I definitely think, there's decks that I've edged, and it can be a really fun exercise to bond with the deck and to also get to know the card. So maybe I'll do it for that purpose. But anyways, this was the Small Spells tarot deck. This was the full color version by Rachel Howe, and I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. As always, it was great getting to chat with you, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you. Goodbye.